Happy Thursday, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you live in Living Sound, May 22nd, 2014. Hope you were with us last night. There were over 200 people that tuned in live to my worldwide exclusive webinar for insiders and their guests, where I talked about autoimmune disease and how it is a perfect fiction dreamed up by the MDs, and it is an absolutely perfect example of their lopsided way of looking at health and disease and the relationship thereof to the human body. They've got it inside out, upside down, backwards, and we all dance to their tune. And while we dance to their tune, their therapeutics are the leading cause of death in the United States, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. And how could this be? Well, like the fellow said, the most expensive type of medicine is the one that doesn't work. The perspective, the philosophy of medicine that the MD is trained in is of extreme importance for people to understand. And today's Metaphysical Thursday, so it's worthwhile taking this apart a little bit. It's worthwhile taking this apart a little bit because from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. So, number one, your medical doctor does not own the domain of medicine. Nobody does. Medicine is like dogs. A lot of different dogs. They're all good for different things, right? Bloodhounds, good for finding lost people. Golden retrievers, good for duck hunting, good for pheasant hunting. Chihuahuas, companionship, I guess, right? Or maybe finding tacos, selling tacos. Yeah, selling tacos. But, you know, you're not going to take a Chihuahua duck hunting. If you do, you're going to come back empty-handed because he's the wrong dog for the hunt. Well, medicine is similar. There are many different fields of medical discipline, many different fields of medicine, and they're basically organized into two camps. There is the reductionistic field of medicine, and the only medical profession that exists there are the MDs. Every other system of medicine in the world, everything, from acupuncture to herbalism to homeopathy to traditional Chinese medicine to Ayurvedic medicine, naturopathic medicine. Every other system of chiropractic medicine, every other system of medicine in the world is holistic in its philosophical underpinnings. The only medicine that's reductionistic is the MDs. And you could also argue that osteopathy is, but it's rather a moot point, because osteopathy is no different anymore than MD degrees. There's no difference between the two, and they should eliminate those distinctions. Those distinctions went away after World War II. An osteopathic physician is no different than an MD in their training of how the body works. So we have the reductionistic camp and we have the holistic camp. And remember, the pharmaceutical industry and the American Medical Association have convinced you quite nicely over the course of the last 80 years that the only dog to take for the hunt in medicine is the MD. And that every other dog is, you know, a quack dog, back of the bus, alternative medicine, dangerous dog. Well, it's nonsense. There are different dogs for different jobs. There are different types of medicine for different conditions. And the field of endeavor that the MD is best suited for because of their training in reductionism is trauma and emergency medicine. This is, in fact, the thesis of reductionism. Reductionism argues there is no soul. The human body is a machine. It's a bag of biochemicals that happened by some type of evolutionary accident. It's, you know, life by fiat, life by accident, and basically there is no inherent healing ability inside the body. The body is just a bag of genes and biochemicals waiting to break. And once something breaks, it's not the reductionistic MD's job to figure out what caused it. It's the reductionistic MD's job to figure out how to manage the symptoms, because they've given up the search for the cure a long time ago. According to reductionistic philosophy, the body cannot cure itself. The body is, in a state of decay and dissolution every moment of every day, and it's only a matter of time until something breaks. And then thank God for the MD with their magic pills. They can keep your heart going, keep your blood pressure down, keep your cholesterol low, whatever. This is reductionism. Reductionism argues the human body does not have the ability to fix itself, and when you're sick, you're screwed. Your only option is to let the MD march in like a communist and control the innate workings of the human body with drugs and or surgery. Remember, the goal is not to cure. The goal is not to uncover the causative factor of the illness. The goal is to manage your symptoms with drugs or surgery. Now, the other end of the coin is holism, and holism argues just the opposite, that the human body is not a machine, it's a complex system of interrelated parts, that everything affects everything. It's one big, happy family inside the body. That the human body is endowed with a spiritual soul, a spiritual force. Call it whatever you want to. Spirit, soul, Atman, call it whatever you want. It's there. And the presence of the vital force inside the human body, the presence of the spiritual force, which distinguishes a human being, brings intelligence to the human body mind, brings intelligence to the human body mind, and is in fact the thing that's responsible for all of the automatic goings-on that happen in the body every second of every day. Everything that happens in your body, there's billions of biochemical reactions that are happening right now. Why do you think that's happening? Is it the biochemicals that are doing it? Well, no, because when somebody's dead, the biochemicals stop working. 30 seconds after somebody's dead, it's the same biochemicals in the body as it was when the body was alive. So if it's just a biochemical soup, why have the biochemicals stopped working? Because the intelligence which informed them what to do has left the building. Elvis has left the building. That's why. But the MD is blind to this phenomenon. So holistic medicine argues, yes, the human body knows how to fix itself, the human body wants to fix itself, and the human body is attempting to fix itself all of the time. Nature is forcing the body into a state of dissolution, and the spiritual intelligence of the body, the vital force, is doing everything that it can to keep it together. Now, you can't weather the storm forever, and the human body has the genetic potential to live to be 120 years of age, 120. But we're not even close here. If you're a man in the U.S., you live into your mid-70s. If you're a woman, you live into your early 80s, and the last 20 years of your life aren't so pretty, are they? You're on at least 8 prescription medications, and you're getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and the quality of your life is in the crapper. But because this is happening to everybody in your world, you think it's normal. You think it's normal to have high blood pressure. You think it's normal to not be able to sleep at night. You think it's normal to be overweight, to have anxiety and panic attacks, to have arthritis, to have heartburn. You think it's normal. And the direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical ads on TV are only too happy to agree with you. For goodness sakes, they even make up diseases. Non-24. You've heard of that one, right? Non-24. What is that? It's something that they just pulled out of their hat, like autoimmunity. An MD looks at someone who has an autoimmune disease, and they see in their body the presence of an antibody that's not present in someone who's healthy. And therefore they assume that it is the antibody that's causing the disease, when in fact it's the antibody that is the result of the disease. For goodness sake, if the antibody was causing the disease, it would be present in 100% of people with the diagnosis, but it's not. And I laid that one bare last night. Autoimmunity is supposed to be a function of your immune system gone bad, your immune system gone south. Your immune system all of a sudden wakes up one day and decides to start chewing up your pancreas, decides to start chewing up your left knee joint, decides to start chewing up your liver, your skin, your kidneys, whatever. An autoimmune disease is where your body has generated an antibody against healthy tissue. It's chewing itself up. But, the antibody is not present in 100% of people who have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. So what's up with that? Inquiring minds want to know. It's just fuzzy logic brought to the table by the MD. And since the MD is the king, nobody questions the king. And when nobody questions the king, it becomes reality by consensus. So 100 MDs get together and they all agree that there is such a thing as autoimmunity and that the antibody is the problem, and then everybody agrees. And they're all wrong. The same way that they were wrong with heartburn. They'll tell you that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid, but they have no earthly idea what causes the body to make too much stomach acid. And it's not caused by too much stomach acid. It's caused by not enough stomach acid. They're inside out, upside down, backwards, and wrong because the philosophy of healing that they're trained in is wrong. They're like colorblind art critics who don't know they're colorblind. Well, it's not going to be a very good criticism, is it? Or a colorblind artist who doesn't know they're colorblind. Well, the picture's going to be good if it's drawn in black and white, but if they try to put colors in it, forget it. It's going to look like crap. And this is why the MDs fail us. This is why the MDs hurt us. This is why the MDs bankrupt us and why the MDs kill us. Because every single solitary thing that they do is based on a philosophy of medicine which is incorrect. The earth is not flat. The earth is not at the center of the solar system. The human body knows how to fix itself, for goodness sake. The MD is not the king. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. You've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. We're going to New Jersey to talk to Elaine when we get back. Stick around. We verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. Why? Because we can. There's a giant need for this information because the medical marketplace has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry for the last 100 years, and all we know is MD-directed medicine that's killing us, for goodness sake. Let's go to the phones right now and see who's talking about what. Elaine and Dennis, I think, are from New Jersey with a call about sickle cell anemia. Hey, guys, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. It's Elaine in Montana, but I do have Dennis on the line, and I made a mistake. He's not in New Jersey. He's in Brooklyn. But here's the scoop. Dennis and I called you back around the 1st of April, and we got a program all set up for his sickle cell anemia. And since winter started, he's averaged 2 to 3 crises a month, every month. And so we got him on the program for the sickle cell about the first week of April. But unfortunately, he's had 3 crises since then. And so we just need to find out if we need to start slower, possibly with the program. How can we get him on the nutrition? If he could be maybe having a reaction to the tangy tangerine or what might be going on. So I'm going to let you and Dennis talk about all this, but he really wants to get well, and we're really trying to help him.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate the follow-through. I appreciate the follow-up, and let's get it done. Hey, Dennis, thanks for the phone call. Are you with me?
Yes, Doctor, I am.
Okay, very good. Yes, Dennis, how tall are you and how much do you weigh?
Doctor, I am 163, and I'm 5'8".
Okay, very good. Have you eliminated the 10 bad foods?
Yes, Doctor, I have eliminated them.
Okay, very good.
And like Mr. Len was saying, it was exchange blood transfusion, which I had of 6 bags.
Yeah, okay. So you think that part of the reason that you had a reaction was because of a blood transfusion?
No. Doctor, prior to going in for this transfusion, I was always being nauseated, and I guess I was having to, soft food and water to when I started taking the tangy tangerine and the whole package you made for me.
So I'm having a hard time. We have a bad connection, Dennis, and I apologize. I'm having a hard time.
I can explain it, Dr. Glidden. I can explain it for him.
All right, shoot.
Oh, okay. So we started him on the program, and he wanted to get well, and he started with a full dose. And he called me within the first couple of days and said he was feeling great, everything was great, and then, bam, he wound up in the hospital. So what he had in the hospital was a transfusion. A couple of different times he went in, and his crisis was so extreme that they had to do the complete exchange of blood transfusion. So that's what he was trying to tell you. So we don't know if we started him, maybe we should have started a little slower. And we don't even know if the longevity had anything to do with the crisis. It's just that he's had 3 since he started longevity. And so we're trying to figure out how to get this nutrition in him and not have a crisis.
Okay, so when he's taken the longevity nutritional supplements, are the negative symptoms that he experiences the same symptoms that he has always experienced, which we're calling a crisis, or has it been a little bit different this time since starting longevity, or is it the same stuff, just a little bit more intense?
Okay, I asked him that question right away because that's what I was wondering. Most of the symptoms were symptoms that he normally has with a crisis, with the exception of he became extremely nauseated and he started vomiting, and that usually does not happen, and that was after the longevity products.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, which longevity products was he taking? Which healthy pack?
It's the healthy pack with the Beyond Tangy. It's all that whole.
Was it the 2.0? Was it the 2.0 or was it the original?
No, I never get the 2.0. It was the original. Or Dennis, was it 2.0 or original?
Yeah, it was a 2.0 with 115, 113.
It was 2.0.
The blue one. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was the original. And he took the selenium and the de-stress with it, the exact protocol that you give on your website for the sickle cell.
All right. Oh, well, I know exactly what to do. I'm so glad that you've called. We have a hard break here. Stick around. I'll pick this up on the other side of the commercials, and I'll tell you what to do and why. Appreciate your call. Stick around. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday, May 22nd, 2014. We're talking to Elaine and Dennis. Dennis is a sickle cell survivor, and he's struggling with the illness and with the longevity supplementation. So let's see if we can't figure this out. Okay.
I talked to Dennis a little bit on the break, and a couple of the symptoms he had, Dr. Glidden, were he had soft stools to start, then it became very watery, and then he went to the nausea and the vomiting. And he was on the original Healthy Start Pack, Z-Radical, De-Stress, and Cell Shield, and Selenium. So now we have the whole package.
All right, Dennis, are you still there?
Yes, doctor, I am.
Okay, Dennis, what did you eat for breakfast this morning?
This morning I had for breakfast a piece of sweet potato and avocado and a pinch of salt.
Okay, very good. And what about dinner last night?
At dinner last night I had some black rice, doctor, and chicken.
All right, very good. So when was the last time, Dennis, that you ate whole wheat bread or anything that has wheat, barley, rye, or oats in it? When was the last time you ate that stuff?
Doctor, I would say it was since about February when I heard from Dr. Wallach. Since about February, I thought that because I'm normally French and I normally eat the French bread, I put a stop to all of that and even the whole wheat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. So you've been gluten-free for February, March, April, and now for like 3.5 months, right?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, very good. And how old are you?
I am 38 years old, doctor.
38 years old. Okay, so we have basically 37.5 years of damage to get on the other side of here. Some people have, when they eat the bad foods, the 10 bad foods, especially wheat, barley, rye, and oats, they're very, very sensitive to it. Some people are moderately sensitive to it, and some people, they're just a little bit sensitive to it. Apparently, you are extremely sensitive to these foods because when you, me, or anybody else swallows the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and that's the problem here. The problem that you've experienced is because of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. When somebody swallows that product, if their intestinal tract is not right, they get a boatload of symptoms as a result of the improper digestion of the nutritional supplement. It's not the nutritional supplement. If it was the nutritional supplement, then everybody who took it would have the problem. The problem is your body's ability or lack thereof to absorb and digest this product. And because it's having a hard time absorbing and digesting the product, then it's going to create a number of negative effects moving forward in your life. And so we have to amend this and deal with it appropriately. It's kind of like, lemon juice is a good thing to swallow, right? Lemon juice is a good thing. It stimulates your digestive tract, and it's a good thing to drink. If you put lemon juice into your mouth and you had a little tiny paper cut on your tongue, or you had a little canker sore on your tongue, the lemon juice would sting like a son of a gun, and it would cause all kinds of inflammation in that part of your mouth. But if you didn't have a problem with the mouth, if the mouth was intact and there was no breaks in the skin in the mouth, you could swish a gallon of lemon juice around in your mouth and nothing negative would happen. So having this type of a reaction to high-quality nutritional supplement is a direct indication that your digestive tract is in trouble and that your digestive tract needs a lot of help. Now, here's how it goes. Remember, from our point of view, which is the correct point of view, everything in the body is connected, and the body is one giant holistic organism. So you're struggling with a sickle cell disease, which is a chronic debilitating disease, and, it generates a big weakness in your body. So when into an already weakened body, you eat wheat, barley, rye, and oats, it weakens the body even more, and then when you take the nutritional supplement, it's just like putting lemon juice on a cut. It stings, it causes all kinds of irritation in the intestinal tract, and because everything is connected, the irritation and the inflammation that is generated in the intestinal tract will have a trickle-down manifestation with the rest of your body because everything's connected, and it will generate a heightened sickle cell event. And that's
one thing to doctor, just let me add, there is no gallbladder, doctor. The gallbladder was yanked out already, and the spleen is very small when you look at it from the scope of medical analysis. There is no gallbladder was taken out, and then also there is very small little spleen.
I couldn't understand a word that Dennis said.
I understood it, Dr. Glidden. He said that he's had his I didn't know this. This is new information for me. He had his gallbladder taken out, apparently in the past because of the sickle cell, and his spleen, according to the scopes and the medical tests, his spleen is very small.
Okay, so his body is, hurting big time. A lot. So, all right. So here's what we need to do in order to manage this appropriately. And remember, we just need to understand, Dennis, that this type of a reaction to a nutritional supplement is an indication not that the supplement is bad, but that your digestive tract needs a ton of help. It's a diagnostic tool, actually, that we can use to assess the health or lack thereof of somebody's digestive tract. So here's what I'm going to recommend you do for the next 4 weeks. All right, number one, I want you to stop taking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in the blue bottle, the red powder. I want you to stop it, give it to somebody else in the family, or send it back to the company. The company has a 30-day money-back guarantee. I don't want you to take that product ever again in your life. Well, maybe 3 or 4 years from now you can go back to it, but I want you to stay completely away from that supplement for the next year. Number two, I want you to take everything else one day at a time. So all of the other supplements, I want you to reintroduce into your body in the dosages that you were taking them, one supplement at a time, one day at a time, and look to see if any of the supplements that you take, which are not Beyond Tangy Tangerine, cause any type of nausea or irritation in your body. And if they do, you also have to shelve that product and not take it. And understand, the best way to take these nutritional supplements is with a meal. The best way to take these nutritional supplements is with a meal, because it really eases your body's ability to digest them and absorb them. So I want you to do all of the other supplements, but I want you to reintroduce them one at a time, one day at a time. Look to see how you feel, and then call me back once you've done all of that. Does that make sense?
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes, doctor.
All right, good. All right, Elaine, I have to move on here. I have a full board.
Yes, and I will help him. Thank you, Dr. Glidden.
All right, I appreciate you guys very much. So that's how we do it.
Thank you very much, doctor. I appreciate it.
Dennis, you're welcome very much. I'll look forward to your return call very much. This is how it is, right? And this is, I think, one of the reasons why this radio show is important, why Dr. Wallach's radio show is important. Because every once in a while, peculiar things like this happen, and there's always a reason. There's always a reason why things go south. There's always a reason. And, we can figure it out because, again, this isn't rocket science. So, this guy's been beneath the wheel for a long, long time. His spleen has shrunken. They took out his gallbladder. Don't know why they did that. Well, I know why they did that, because they wanted to make some money. Gallbladder surgery is a really easy, down and dirty thing to do now. Before, you used to have to slice somebody open from stem to stern, and it was a 2 or 3 day overnight hospital stay. Now they just poke a little hole in your abdomen, stick a camera in there with a little snipper on the end of it. They snip the tip of the lip of the gallbladder off. They sew it up, and then they yank it out through the hole. I mean, it's a machine can do it. Robots can do it. It's not that difficult a thing to do if you know your way around the inside of the human body. And that's why they do it. It's a big-ticket item. And remember, the MDs think that, well, if there's a little bit of a problem with the gallbladder now, it's only a matter of time until there's a big problem with the gallbladder, so we might as well yank it. That's their solution to everything. Cut it the heck out. Burn it. Or, medicate it into submission. That's all that they can do. So he's had a rough time of it. His system is really weak and, struggling. And so with people who have systems like this that are weak and struggling, we need to move a little bit differently. We need to move a little bit slower. We need to move a little bit more cautiously until we find a program that produces zero net negative effects. Because, look, the only way that anybody is going to recover their health with medical nutrition is if they can get on board with a program that doesn't upset their digestive tract, right? Because you have to absorb the stuff. But the analogy of the lemon juice on the canker sore is a good one, because it's not the lemon juice that's doing it, right? It's the presence of the faulty tissue in the body that's been exposed to the lemon juice that's doing it. And so this is the turning point here. This is the sticking point. So we'll be able to help, Dennis. We'll be able to help him. We just need to massage it and micromanage it a little more, and I'm happy to do that. Okay, let's stay on the East Coast now and go to Connecticut and see what Anita is talking about. Hey, Anita, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I had spoken to you on December 11th before I started Longevity, but I have to go back because on September 2nd, I had read a book about how bad wheat was for you, so I went on a wheat-free diet, and at that time my A1C was 5.9, and in 3 months it had gone down to 5.5, and during those 3 months I was taking my glucose 3 times a day, and it was almost always under 90, and I was so happy about that. On January 1st, I started a whole program that you had put me on. This is what it was: Tangy Tangerine, 3 scoops a day; liquid minerals, 2 tablespoons a day; Sweeties, 9 a day; selenium, 6 a day; EFA Plus, 6 a day, Glucogel, 15 a day, and Beyond Osteo FX Liquid, 4 tablespoonfuls a day. I can't swallow pills, so I have to open all this stuff up and make big drinks, which is fine with me. But ever since I started this on January 1st, my blood sugars have not been below 100. In fact, they're like 110. The other morning without eating was 132. I have never seen that in a long time. I'm on the very, very good no 10 food, none of the bad 10 stuff. I cook for myself, have no animals. And that's problem number one, where I don't know how to get my blood sugars back down, and I also think I have phlebitis.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, that might be key. Anita, I'm glad you called. Stick with me. I'll dial this in for you on the other side of the commercial break. Thanks so much for your trust. Stick around, folks. Much more to come on Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, finishing up the first hour of today's show with you. On the line, we are talking to Anita from Connecticut, who, like the call before, it needs a little bit of tweaking. This must be the day for tweaking. Every once in a while it happens. Anita, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So, first things first. Since January, is that when you started the longevity program?
Yes, January 1st. I thought that was a good day.
Yeah, I would too, right? It's a great day. So January, February, March, April, and now almost the end of May.
Right.
Have you experienced anything positive in your body-mind since starting the longevity program?
Yes, I had terrible arthritis in my left hand, and I could hardly grab the steering wheel to my car. And I can now close my hand, and I don't wake up at night with extreme pain in that hand, which is wonderful. And my hips, which I have had sciatica and ended up in the hospital, I can get right out of bed. So I would say that they are much, much better.
Gotta love it. Okay. However, the sugars are now troublesome, right? Have you had an A1C done lately?
Yes, I did, and it went up to 6. It went up more than it's usually ever been.
Yeah, that's interesting.
From 5.5. It went. Yeah. It was 5.9, went down to 5.5 when I went on the wheat-free diet and lost 14 pounds, and then it went all the way up to 6.
Yeah, now you're still on the wheat-free diet, of course.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes. For 9 months I've been on the wheat-free diet.
And have you lost any more weight since?
No, I'm maintaining what I am now. I wasn't overweight, really. I'm 5'6.5" or 5'7", and I'm 145 pounds.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, since starting longevity and since you've experienced an improvement in your musculoskeletal system, mm-hmm. have you started anything different? Like you're doing a workout program now, you're going swimming now, you're going to the gym now, or anything like that?
No, the same thing.
Nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's curious to me that the sugars should go up like this.
Yes, me too.
It doesn't make sense at all to me.
And I cook everything from scratch for myself. I don't even go down the gluten-free aisle because when I look at what's in there, to me, it's a lot of garbage.
Well, all right. So, what I'm going to lean on here, Anita, right, is the wisdom of the body over the wisdom of the laboratory technician or the diagnostician, right? Okay. So, which begs the question, even though the lab work says that your sugars are elevated, more than they have been historically, mm-hmm. how do you feel relative to all of that? Because, right, if somebody has a problem with sugar metabolism, mm-hmm. there's a couple of things that happen. Number one, they tend to be a little depressed more than the next person. Number two, they tend to get sleepy within 30 minutes of eating a meal that has carbohydrates in it. And number three, they tend to wake up in the middle of the night wide awake after only a few hours sleep. So if you didn't know that you had a blood sugar issue, would you know that you had a blood sugar issue? Is there anything in your day-to-day life that's bothering you around, these things?
No.
Well,
I get up once a night because I'm 83 years old, and I have to go to the bathroom one time.
But then you go right back to sleep and life is good.
Yes, usually, and then I get up about 5:15.
And you're not falling asleep after lunch or dinner?
No, at night when I get in bed, which is about an hour and a half or two after eating dinner, I can conk right out, and then I'll wake up and conk out. I miss every program.
Well, I have to tell you something about that. The sleep, I don't know if you've ever lived in a city where there are subways, but, the subway train comes only every so often. They don't come all the time. They'll come like once every hour and a half or whatever. You either get on the train or you miss it. Sleep is like that. I would get myself into the habit of going to bed at the same time every night. And trying just to have a good night's sleep rather than falling asleep watching TV or falling asleep in a chair or stuff like that. But notwithstanding that, Anita, if your mood, your energy, your appetite, your weight, and everything else is good, then I'm going to assume that the blood sugar numbers that your body is presenting are healthy numbers for you, and there's nothing to do about it except pay attention. Now, if they continue to go up and or they start generating net negative symptoms, then we need to talk. In the meantime, I'm going to trust the body rather than the blood work. Does that make sense?
Yes, but my veins in my feet are turning black, and the doctor said he thinks I have phlebitis.
All right, that's different. Stick around. We'll take care of that when we come back.